I am very happy to be in this great city of Kisumu. I will be here for the next 2 days because I chose to come and engage on matters development of the counties in this region, focusing on the issues that are important, issues of food security, issues of infrastructure, issues that matters of developing our human resource capital around Kenya. And I'm very happy that we've had an engagement with the leaders, with the people of this region. I know in the context of where we are today, many people have come to appreciate that we are now in a dispensation called broad-based government. And many people are wondering where this broad-based and what it means, where it came from and what it means. Let me take this opportunity, because it's the first time we're engaging in this manner, to say one or two things. I am a great believer of the unity of Kenya. In my political journey, I have endeavored to work with all regions, all communities in Kenya. And 2022 was an election at a different level. Many people engaged in 2022, and we had two political formations that had an array of people from across Kenya in both political formations. It was a good election because for the first time that election was about issues. We were prosecuting issues. And in that election, I was elected by the grace of God in a way people did not believe, because communities that had been accused for a very long time of not being able to other communities changed in 2022. And we got a new dispensation. In fact, the message that came out of 2022 is that the curtains on the politics of ethnicity had come down, and that henceforth we are going to move as a country, as a united country, democratic, and us understanding where we all want to go. When the opportunity arose for me to consider broadening the administration that I run, I could not miss that opportunity. I know the value of making every Kenyan feel that they belong. And it is the reason why I took the opportunity to create best government, because it has always been in my scheme of things how to bring Kenyans together. Even though it came as a result of a situation that was uncomfortable for many people. But they say in every cloud there's a silver lining. And in every challenge there is an opportunity. It depends on where you focus. Either you focus on the challenge or you focus on the opportunity. The opportunity we have today is to unite the people of Kenya. And I must say that I am very proud of this moment, that we as the people of Kenya Kenya from all communities, all regions, including political formations, without compromising our democracy, we can have a sense of feeling that we all belong to an administration, and we can all focus on that which unites us and gives us an opportunity to make progress than those that divide us. And so I have come to this region from Migori to engage on many aspects. As you know, this lake region is a region that has tremendous opportunity. In my plan, the blue economy, which contributes about 20 billion shillings every year, it is my intention to raise the contribution of our blue economy from 20 billion to 100 billion. And for us to do that, we need to do a couple of things. Number one, we need to build blue economy infrastructure. As you're all aware, we are investing 1.5 billion shillings in building 10 fish landing sites in Lake Victoria. From Busia through Siaya, here in Kisumu, in Homa Bay, the way to Migori. In fact, yesterday, when I met the leadership of Migori, they were asking me when the Muhuru fish landing site is going to be constructed, and the Goat Achola is going to begin. Both of them told me that the ministry responsible is undertaking public party is here. She can confirm. Those facilities will join the others that we have already constructed. I know the one has already been completed. I know some of the ones in Kisumu have been completed because we want to build infrastructure. That's number one. Number two, we need to deal with the challenge of fingerlings and the fish stock in our waters. And we need to replenish, because the more we fish, the fewer the stocks are. It is the reason why I came to Kabonyo here. And we have a project, fish. The other item is fish feed. I think there is also a challenge. And many of the people involved in that space have been telling us to see China and other places. And I said then that we continue in that trajectory. It's the reason why last year we banned the imports of fish from and instead encourage our own local production of fish in Kenya. A few people made noise at me that why was I banning fish. It is the right thing to do. We can develop our own food in Kenya. The fourth issue we are doing in that space is also to develop the human capital that will help us grow our capacity for fishing, fish farming. Tomorrow, I will be opening the Kenya Marine School here in Kisumu. That is going to help us train more people in the fishing ecosystem, coxswains, and everything around fishing. How we are going to go ahead with our business in fishing. And the fifth thing that I think is important for us to unlock the potential of our blue economy. How do we move our blue economy from its contribution of 20 billion to 100 billion? The fifth issue is to make sure that we reduce on the people we lose in the lake. As you are aware, we lose close to 5,000 people in Lake Victoria every year because of the kind of gears they are using, the boats they are using, the capsizing that takes place. Again, tomorrow, as a region, as an East African region, we are going to be launching tomorrow a rescue center that will have all the necessary facilities, including further down the road, a chopper that can be used to rescue people who have accidents in Lake Victoria. If we make fishing safe, we can encourage more people to do fishing. And there are other interventions that we are working on as a government to make sure that as we focus on how to unlock the potential in fishing, we are building the necessary infrastructure, human capital support for us to drive that, because it is important, not just for our economy, it is also important for our food security. As you know, we're importing many things, and things we can be growing in Kenya, among them fish. Let me say two more things so that I don't monopolize this town hall. The other thing that I am focused on, and it's part of why I came here, is the irrigation potential in this region. And the sugarcane production, palm oil production, and many of the other must also sort out the issues of sugar in this region. And as my commitment, it is only that there are previous people who have taken us to court. Otherwise, we would have sorted out the issues in Chemelil, in Moroni, because we must get a new model to unlock the potential of all our sugar mills, all the way from Sony Sugar, Moroni, Chemelil, all the way to Nzoia in Bungoma. But I want to give you my commitment that we have now the template on how to do it. Hopefully we manage to get the matters out of court in the next 1 or 2 months, and then we will be on the way to sorting out those issues. You're also aware that we have, I think, a 20-year tussle over Miwani. But finally, we're going to resolve it this year. We have done so that we can sort it out and focus on the production of sugar in Kenya, because we are spending our foreign exchange importing products that we can actually grow here in Kenya. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to engage with you this evening. I do not want to say more than that. Let me stop there. I know it was the wish of the people of Kisumu to engage with me so that I can take questions directly from you and you can get answers directly from me. Okay. I will take the first question. Maybe I start here. Nani yako na maswali? Kama huna maswali ni sawa. Yes. Somebody here has you can favor me with your name.
Your Excellency, my name is Evans Ongati. I have two questions. One, as we all know that in your better agenda, housing is one of your key priorities. And as it stands now, you are at 2 million units that you want to achieve. And at the moment, your government promised that you'll be doing around 200,000 units per annum. I would wish to know that so far, we are in the third year. How far are we in that regard? That is number one. Number two, my concern is on what we call manufacturing sector. We know that manufacturing sector contributes around 8.4% of the national GDP. And here in Kisumu or Nyanza region, we had a manufacturing farm at Kikomi that has since collapsed for a long time. What is your government going to do to ensure that manufacturing sector is revived in the entire Nyanza and more specifically in Kisumu, just to cushion us on the issues of employment and what we call agricultural aspects that will ensure that we have food security taken care of within Nyanza region? I thank you, sir.
Because the housing program was in the Azimio manifesto, it was on the Kenya Kwanza manifesto. I find it strange that there are people who want to oppose it for the sake of opposing. But I am happy that this program is now underway in many parts of the Republic of Kenya. In fact, among the things that I will be doing here in Kisumu on Saturday is to launch the 2,000 houses that we are building in what's the name of that place? Lumumba. In Lumumba estate here. And we are currently, just to give Evans the statistics, we are currently building 108,000. We have 40,000 in the pipeline. We have already extended in terms of trying to find land to construct another 200,000. This is a program that, as you know, Evans, is started onto a lot of challenge. We've been taken to court so many times. It has been stopped here, stopped there, because there are people who cannot see the value of housing. Housing does four things for us. Number one, housing gives us jobs. As I talk to you now, right from Lumumba here and across Kenya, we have 150,000 Kenyans working in the housing plan. Kenyans who were not working before we started this housing program. It is a place where we will create jobs. And those jobs will keep increasing as we go step by step. For the next 20 years, we will be creating jobs from this housing plan. Number two, it gives us an opportunity to dignify Kenyans with dwellings that are decent. Today, we have 7 million Kenyans who live in slums in our towns, in very undignified, with no toilets, no running water, no electricity, no roads, people living in squalor. And let me tell you, and as I tell the rest of Kenya, the National Housing Corporation, the housing law in Kenya was passed the same time it was passed in Today in Singapore, 95% of Singaporeans own a home. The opposite is that in Kenya, we have 7 million people living in slums. Because we didn't want to do, now starting to do the right thing. And you know, this is what Singapore did for them to change in Homa Bay County. And about it, we will surely have no land, something about our agriculture, because the amount of land fragmentation that...
I'm saying all this because
do you still appease the shareholders? Two, Mr. President, as young people, during the demonstrations in 2020, during the demonstrations that was touching on the Finance Bill 2023-2024 and 2024-2025, most youths died during that process. Quite a number have been abducted and their families can still not trace them. Quite a number are still suffering out of the injuries that they got through the police brutality. My question is this: what is your plan
Do you have any form of compensation to the families that suffered during the demonstrations? Because as the president of the Kenya Bunge la Wananchi Caucus, the leadership that the face that represent the young people, we have always been talking very categorically, and we are saying that we want your government to see to it that the young people that suffered during the demonstrations are well taken care of, and that is our request as young people. And lastly, as I finish, Your Excellency, we want to thank you very much for embracing broad-based government and for agreeing to work together with our party leader, His Excellency Raila and supporting his bid for AUC. That we are saying that we are very happy about that. On the side of the broad-based, we are happy that you considered our people, though the Luos did not vote for you, but you considered our people and gave them very important positions in your government. Here in Kisumu, kindly consider us because we don't have anything good as people of Kisumu. And on the Bunge la Wananchi, kindly consider the Bunge la Wananchi because we also suffer and we also exist in part of the struggle. Your Excellency, I'm jobless. Consider me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sospita. Let me start with Evans. Evans has asked me about housing. Housing is a very important project, as we all know. In fact, the argument I normally put across is that on this one subject of housing, we should all be united, because the housing program was in the Azimio manifesto. It was on the Kenya Kwanza manifesto. I find it strange that there are people who want to oppose it for the sake of opposing. But I am happy that this program is now underway in many parts of the Republic of Kenya. In fact, among the things that I will be doing here in Kisumu on Saturday is to launch the 2,000 houses that we are building in what's the name of that place? Lumumba. In Lumumba estate here. And we are currently, just to give Evans the statistics, we are currently building 108,000. We have 40,000 in the pipeline. We have already extended in terms of trying to find land to construct another 200,000. This is a program that, as you know, Evans, is started onto a lot of challenge. We've been taken to court so many times. It has been stopped here, stopped there, because there are people who cannot see the value of housing. Housing does four things for us. Number one, housing gives us jobs. As I talk to you now, right from Lumumba here, and across Kenya, we have 160,000 Kenyans working in the housing plan. Kenyans who were not working before we started this housing program. So it is a place where we will create jobs. And those jobs will keep increasing as we go step by step. For the next 20 years, we will be creating jobs from this housing plan. Number two, it gives us an opportunity to dignify Kenyans with dwellings that are decent. Today, we have 7 million Kenyans who live in slums in our towns, in very undignified, with no toilets, no running water, no electricity, no roads, people living in squalor. Let me tell you, and as I tell the rest of Kenya, the National Housing Corporation, the housing law in Kenya was passed the same time it was passed in Singapore. Today, in Singapore, 95% of Singaporeans own a home. The opposite is that in Kenya, we have 7 million people living in slums. Because we didn't want to do the right thing about it. We are now starting to do the right thing. And you know, this is what Singapore did for them to change the fortunes of their country. Number 3, it helps us to reduce land fragmentation. I overflew yesterday. I was with the governor of Migori yesterday. And we could see clearly that the amount of settlements in Migori County, in Homa Bay County, unless we do something about it, we will surely have no land to do our agriculture, because the amount of land fragmentation that is going on is alarming. And therefore, this program is going to slow and possibly reverse